For Footscray, a game and percentage out of the 5 they just had to win today to stay in touch. Well, they were going pretty well for the first 3 quarters. They led at quarter time, at half time, and at 3/4 time had a handy break, leading 12-18 to 7-14, a margin of 34 points. We go to the game early in the last quarter. The Doggies have added 1 more point. They lead by 35. From the back pocket, gets some distance. Rendell the target, couldn't take it. Terry Wallace to Cullen, to Hawkins, to the goal square. Grant steadies himself. Still Grant off the ground, rolls through for a goal. 13 goals, 19 to 7-14, and Chris Grant gets his first.
Well, the sign of a good player, in my opinion, because that high floating ball was kicked by Doug Hawkins. He tried to banana the ball through. Grant made it underneath it. He fought with his opponent for the ball, got the ball on his side, then recovered quickly, and he has got great recovery. A lucky bounce in the end, but he knew where the goals were. Rendell against Charles. Justin Charles has been a good player for Footscray today. He's taken 8 marks, most of them around the centre half back area, where he took the place of Scott Lyne in the side, so his form must have been pretty good in the reserves. Wind and up and come up. Now the umpire having a few problems there. The 2 umpires, Mike Bird and Chris Mitchell.
Change of whistle.
The whistle, yep. This is Chris Mitchell, in fact, about to bounce it. Been a lot of skill errors made in this game today under pretty good conditions. That's Rendell with a big punch away. Atkins loves to handball. Gets it to Wallace. Been outstanding again, Terry Wallace. Foster, received from Hunter. Then it comes back to Hunter via Atkins. Hunter to the half-forward line. And the mark has been taken down there for Fitzroy by Bunn.
Sweeps it wide to Stevens. Put him under a bit of pressure, but he's able to get around in the end. To centre wing. Wigney took off early against Truella. And scooped it back towards Hunter. Dundas has been quiet, and it'll be a throw-in.
Gee, haven't they had some quiet players? Dundas has had 1 mark, 1 kick and 4 handballs. Lynch has only had 4 kicks. Lyons had 2 kicks.
Collins has had 1 kick, so they've had 4 or 5 players there, but between them haven't got to double figures. Not good enough, can't win like that. Wielden thumps it away at full forward. Royal, who had a big 3rd quarter. Waterson. Aythorne, long kick, strong kick to the forward pocket, and it was out of bounds on the fall in the end. She's dumped that one from about 70 metres out. Kennedy to bring her back in, 97 to 56. Foster, I should say. So Foster to half back. Atkins. Waterson. Back to centre half forward. Ruse in the front spot. Against him, Foster. Hunter off the ground. Trapped well, though, by Ruse, and his left foot's going to dribble through for a goal. Well, the captain's got his second. Second goal to Ruse, and it's 8-14 to 13-19 after Broderick stopped the ball in flight and was able to get it back to Ruse.
Yes, it was a good smother by Broderick, and the loose ball came to Ruse on the left foot, who dribbled it through. A clever kick, but he's only taken 2 marks for the day, Paul Ruse, and had 8 kicks and kicked 2 goals. And for a forward, mind you, the delivery of the ball down forward hasn't been all that crash hot, but Foster's been a good player for Footscray. 19.5 minutes of play left in this final quarter. Here's Danny Del Rey over to Cullen. Oh, a little bit high. The umpire was right then. There's McGuinness, a quick hand pass. Looking for Cameron. Cameron, hand pass to Cullen. He'll go inside. Danny Del Rey will try and crash his way through. Gets away from Blakey, then goes in after it again. Hand pass back to Tony McGuinness. To Wallace. Back to McGuinness. Can he kick a goal? This will be great play if he does. Can he swing it back? He can. Great goal, Tony McGuinness. Footscray moved further in front. As you see on the scoreboard, they've moved on to 14-19, 103, Fitzroy 8-14, 62. And Tony McGuinness, his stats, he's had 2 marks, 21 kicks, 5 handballs, and that kicked 2 goals, and he is in great form at the moment. That was Beautiful football.
41-point margin now. Footscray looking for a bit of percentage, still with a glimmer of hope of making the finals. A game and percentage out before today. Aythorne's kicked the centre half forward. Foster against Roos. Roos with it. Tries to get it out to Lyon, who's been disappointing. Foster, well done. Terry Wallace has got a long run here against Aythorne. Wallace goes to ground, but does it cleverly. Atkins, still Atkins, to full forward. Coleman sets himself with Trooper. Grant. Coleman misses it. Stevens. Del Rey on top of him. Stevens safety of the boundary line if it makes it. Coleman keeps it back in. Royal looks for a free kick. Still Royal. And again Royal. Well done to Atkins. Atkins' left foot. High. Goal square job. Not a bad kick. And Cullen a beauty. Well, Brian Royal, well done. He weaved a bit of magic on the forward pocket and got it to Atkins. And Cullen took a splendid mark. He's got a bit of skill, Pete.
Yes, his only problem is Mark Cullen just a little bit on the small side. You're never sure where to play him. He's not really a natural rover, but he's got tons of skill, all right.
Well, he's kicked one, and he's now kicked two. And they're away, Footscray, 15-19 to 8-14.
And good play in that forward pocket by Brian Royal. Coleman raced to the boundary line, tapped it back behind him. It was good play by Coleman also. Then Royal swooped on the ball. Was almost held on to for too long, and then he went back after it and with cleverness gave it over to Atkins. The high floater came in towards the square. Cullen at top mark. (15-19) plays 8-14. Footscray players be very aware of percentage. That's Aythorne towards the half-forward line looking for Roos. Wigney. Atkins almost through that one. Hawkins wide. Oh, good hand pass. Clever hand pass. Wallace. Atkins. Del Rey in front. Can't take the mark. Here's Royal again. It's knocked out of his hands. Waterson, a quick kick. Cullen. Almost lost it. Good play by Mark Cullen. Hand pass comes to Michael Gale. Stevens. Hunter's been outstanding in defence. Terry Wallace. Another great game from the veteran. Del Rey. Good mark. Tony McInnes not sure what to do. Then gives a lovely hand pass. Well, one-handed by Terry Wallace. That was bad. He should have taken it with two. Strooper. Wide to the wing and the mark taken by Dundas. Well, we've hardly seen Matthew Dundas all day.
Good diving mark that time back to Stevens, and we've seen plenty of him today. He's had 18 kicks and 7 handballs. Delina in the centre. Rendell. He's got Kapler very short if he goes there with a handball. Oh, he's made a mess of it, Matty. Still Rendell. Now Kapler finally. It should have gone there a minute ago. He'll get to his left leg and then thump it towards the goal square. Wielden will take off at the back. Charles in the front. Truella. Still Truella. Well done to Roos. Roos smothered. Take your pick there, Foster and Hunter. They really could have worked better off the ground. Very clever goal. Unbelievable. Goal in the pocket. Wielden. Unreal. Well, he's kicked 2 freaks today, and that's the second one. 9-14 to 15-19. So nothing here for Fitzroy with just over 12.5 minutes remaining. And for Footscray, game out before today and percentage of the final 5, and would be looking for as big a win as possible. Coleman. Now McInnes, who's been very good. Royal's been excellent. They've had a number of good players today. To the goal square. Grant at the back. Good mark by Lynch in the front. Started the day up forward. And... well, Peter gave his stats a moment ago. They've improved a little in the last couple of minutes. Board on a lead. He started very well against Cameron, but Cameron's improved as the game's gone on. Centre wing. Oh, an excellent mark by Stevens, who's been very much Fitzroy's best player. That wasn't a good kick, though. Charles, very promising player. Grant, Lynch against him. Grant in the front spot. Lynch, Board, Hawkins over the top. Cullen, still Cullen, only as far as Kapler. who's been okay. Left foot, didn't really get onto it, but got some distance. Roos and Foster and Truella. Foster, well done. Wallace trapped it and did very well. Wonderfully well. Now Foster, and he's dropped punt to Coleman.
Strooper trying his heart out. Royals brought the ground, holding the ball. Well, that one was sudden death. Could have been a play-on decision then, I would have thought. Here's Waterson. Now, he was running around in circles. He's done all right, Waterson, though. Dundas has been well and truly beaten. Those resting Rovers, the Fitzroy, have been flashed by Hunter. There's a push in the back. People go the way of Mark Hunter, but he has been solid and dependable. He's only had 6 kicks and he's had 11 handballs, but most importantly, his opponents have hardly had a touch. Centre wing. Paul Stevens was the flyer. Here's Bunn. Brought the ground. Good tackle by Royal. And, well, Royal had one against him a moment ago, so the umpire's consistent. There's Royal to full forward Grant. Oh, brought the ground. Delina's on top of it, and the umpire will come in and bounce at half forward for Footscray. 15-19 to 9-14. Some very poor kicking today in this match. Just over 10 minutes of play left in this match. Liberatore from the pack puts it out of bounds on the full.
Liberatore, 9 kicks, 11 handballs. Another very useful game. Strooper from the pocket. Rendell the target. Charles at the back. Blakey not very far. Davies back on the ground. McGuinness, the big possession getter with Wallace today. Short. And Grant had to wait for it a bit, but he was good enough. He's a great mark. And that one was always going to take its time getting to him. Lynch coming in strongly at the end. Now Grant, who kicked one off the ground earlier in this quarter. Been some miraculous goals today. They've really been the standout. One of Liberatore's wheeled in a couple. Grant one. And he's 50 metres out. He's going to go short to Coleman. Well, in the end, it was Royal chipping in. Cullen, Strooper, and a ball up. So not much happening there for Footscray. Grant might have been better to have a go. He hasn't kicked all that well from 40 and 50 metres out today. So he's probably lacking a bit of confidence. Rendell up against Coleman.
It's at half forward for Footscray. Waterson trying hard. Grabbed by Bunn. Quick kick to centre wing. Charles underneath that one. Tapped on by Hunter to Wigney was good play. Dundas beaten by Wigney. Just haven't got the physical strength, Fitzroy. McGuinness, they've pinged him by holding the ball here. He's not arguing because they know. And there've been no incidents today. Is that 50? Against Tony McGuinness, it is. But there've been no incidents out there today because the umpires have been firm and decisive and consistent. And that's when that happens, players don't get into altercations. Now this is Blakey. Will kick from 55. He's had the tough task on McGuinness since the second quarter. He's had 24 possessions himself as he kicks it up in front of goal. Fisted the ground and over the line and through for a behind to Fitzroy. There's Tony McGuinness. 9-15 Fitzroy, 15-19 Footscray. His minder there in John Blakey. Much taller player, of course.
Reynolds to Foster. Caught by Roos. Liberatore under a bit of pressure there. He probably panicked a bit in the end. He didn't need to. Gale. Athorn to Atkins with a leg in there. No free kick paid. Quick kick away by Terry Wallace. Board. Davies. Grant. Still Grant. Atkins from centre half forward. Drop punt. Goal square. Coleman trying to get a run at it with Strooper. Bunn. Hawkins, he's got a bit of skill, Dougie, and that one's a beauty. 3 to Hawkins and 16 to Footscray, and the captain's got a lot of class.
Well, there was no doubt when Hawkins picked up that ball, Bruce, that was a lay-down misère that was going to be a goal. It was good play earlier by Chris Grant when he shrugged off a tackle to give it to Atkins. The long value of the long kick. Coleman wrestled for it in the goal square. The loose ball with Hawkins, and he doesn't mess around with those ones, Doug Hawkins. Highly skilled. It's curtains for Fitzroy, all right. undermanned, but even so, they haven't played well. Blakey to the half-forward line, and Roos takes the mark. Foster's been on top at centre-half back now. Roos will go short. He's got a running player in Kapler. Oh, good pressure put on by Liberatore. That was fantastic. Stephen Wallace, or was it Hunter? No, it was Stephen Wallace. Keenan Reynolds, board. Oh, he drops the mark. He's played all right, though. Roos receives from Athorn, on to Blakey. Broderick from 40 metres directly in front on the left foot. Paul Broderick slams it through for a goal. That's his second. That was much better play by Fitzroy, resulting in a goal to Broderick. Good teamwork all around. 3 or 4 players combining in that excellent passage of play, but that type of play has been few and far between today. Fitzroy very, very badly undermanned.
(10-15, 16-19). Attendance today 10,610. They haven't had a lot to cheer about. Blakey towards full forward. Foster, Reynolds, chance here for Wielden. He's done some unbelievable things today. What about this one? That's another one. Well, he's kicked 3, and they've all been memorable. No question about that.
Just over 6 minutes of play left in this game. Caldolina, the half-forward line. Darren Collins. Oh, Hunter just shoved him out of the way with brute strength. On to Atkins. Atkins to the half-forward line. And a good lead, and the mark is taken by Royal. Those little men have been outstanding. Now, Grant wants to lead. Royal wants to kick long. Grant goes back. He'll be in the perfect position to mark this. No, too good, Alistair Lynch. Top mark. In fact, the umpire paid the free kick for a holding, and that'll be 50 metres. So Alistair Lynch will come up to the half-back area, but again, an example of the consistency of the umpires.
So Lynch from centre-half back now. Still a 34-point game. Roos the lead. Atkins, lovely half volley. He's a very good player, Atkins. He's had 19 kicks. Back to Lynch, his area, and the mark to Strooper. He and Stevens, the outstanding defenders. Athorn to centre-half forward. Hunter, Collins. Still Hunter and Collins. No, caught Collins by Wallace, and it'll be a ball up. Well, Hunter hasn't put a foot wrong, and Wallace has been just as good back there. Hunter's had 7 kicks, 12 handballs, and Wallace has had 8 kicks and 12 handballs, so they've really done the job. Charles against Truella. Wigney. Well, they've got a paddock here. Steve Wallace to centre-half, or to the centre. Davies on a lead, and so's Coleman. Good strong mark. Oh, I thought Coleman might have taken it, didn't. Davies with a bit of time now to Grant. Good kick. Grant plays on. Still plays on. Then left foots it. It sits up. Cullen's got a chance. Back with him, Kapler. Free kick to Kapler.
Yes, no doubt about that one. Darren Kapler. 13 kicks and 3 handballs. Been good in patches, but really hasn't done enough. Blakey. Oh, the tackle by McGuinness. Board to Delina. Delina on centre wing. A couple of casual bounces. This stinged on out of the players now as Delina kicks to half forward. Stevens flies in front of the pack. Looks like he's having a stint on the half forward line. And the umpire, Chris Mitchell, will come in and bounce. 11-15, plays 16-19 under perfect conditions here. Liberatore is receiving attention behind the play for a leg injury. Let's hope the little fella's not hurt. No, he's right now. Off he goes. There's the ball still at half forward for Fitzroy. Really not a decisive performance by Footscray. Should have won by a lot more, really. There's a handball by Athorn to Roos. Roos on the boundary line, has a shot at goal. A good-looking drop punt right up in the square, and it's a mark. And it's taken by Broderick right in the goal square. Paul Broderick has kicked 2. And he won't miss this one. Lovely markers. Broderick floats across the back after a good kick to position by Paul Roos. Broderick from directly in front taps it through for his 3rd. Won't help the score all that much because Footscray 16-19, 115 lead. Fitzroy 12-15, and they're on a total of 87.
Good kick by Roos. He was in the pocket, didn't have a long way to go. He was tucked away, and he did the sensible thing. He kicked right to the front of the goal, and there was a lovely mark. And a good goal to Broderick, his 3rd. 87 to 115. Rendell has to sit and wait for it. McGuinness, yet another kick. Coleman in the front spot. Strooper, now Cullen, just chips in and hits the post. Well, the scores have been level. He'll be pretty cross with himself if they're a point behind, because he really could have walked through with that one. But he's kicked 2-2, played all right, 16-20 to 12-15. Footscray haven't really got any percentage out of this game. They've won comfortably, handily, but not all that convincingly. Short kick to Aythorne from half-back. Nice kick to centre wing. Oh, nearly an excellent mark to Trewella. Board does well to keep it in play. Davies, Blakey out of bounds. So just over 2 minutes remaining. And Darren Davies, quiet game. Started on the forward line, then went to the interchange bench for a while. And really hasn't done anything memorable today. Roos uses his body against Charles. Terry Wallace, who was quite outstanding early. Delina, who's played all right. Broderick with 3 goals has been handy. Blakey, well done. And with some pace and power. And a good-looking kick, but across the face in the end. And they're up to 12-16 to 16-20. So it's just been one of those days where both teams have had a few chances. But Footscray always 3 to 5 goals in front. And never really enough pressure from Fitzroy.
Terry Wallace receives a beautiful kick from Keenan Reynolds to him. Simon Atkins has been a good player. So was Hawkins. Oh, look at that. And the pass is on to Del Rey. Brett Stevens had gone out to meet the ball. Del Rey ducked back. A beautiful pass there by Hawkins. Great skill. Del Rey started off like a bomb in the first couple of minutes. He let out beautifully, but he's only kicked 1 goal for the day, and the ball's been up in that forward line time and time again. In fact, he missed a few easy ones early, Del Rey. Shouldn't miss this one. Brett Stevens on the mark, and Danny Del Rey kicks it goal. It's a little bit to the right. Did he sneak it in? He did. Danny Del Rey kicks his 2nd. Footscray moved further in front. 17-20, plays 12-16.
Well, it was a great passage of play, starting from full-back. Some excellent kicking. Excellent mark by Hawkins, and then the left foot pass to Del Rey, and Del Rey gets his 2nd. He's kicked 2-4 today, so he's kicked 19 goals in 12 matches this season. It's been useful, not quite 2 goals a game, but he's shown enough in his first season from the VFA to suggest he's going to be around for a while. So the last rights over this game makes it never really reached great heights. And Wallace with another kick. What a good player he is. Atkins will wait for it. He's been very good. McGuinness, who's been outstanding. 1 bounce on his wrong leg, but he is strong with the right foot, but not accurate this time. A behind. 17-21 to 12-16. And McGuinness has had 24 kicks and 9 handballs, and he's very close to best man on the ground. So the last 10 seconds remaining. Half-back, Blakey off the ground as the time ticks away. Blakey again. Be pretty tight at this stage. He's had to chase McGuinness all day. Terry Wallace, still Blakey as the siren sounds, and Footscray win. Yes, a comfortable win for Footscray. 17-21 to 12-16 Fitzroy. Royal kick 4 and Hawkins 3 for Footscray. Broderick 3 and Wilden 3. Outstanding goals for Fitzroy, but a rather uninspiring game there, but Footscray keep their chances alive. Melbourne kicked plenty at the MCG against Sydney. Jackson getting 6 and 5 for Bennett. 27-11 in the end. to 15-16, winning by 67 points, and it keeps their chances alive for the double chance.
Time now to check the CUB AFL Premiership Season League ladder.
And you can see the importance of tomorrow's matches. The top 3 teams all playing tomorrow, and the Bombers against the Magpies right at the top. West Coast currently in 3rd place, but the 2 teams that won today, or the 3 teams, Melbourne, Hawthorn and Footscray, all maintaining their position. And that other very important game tomorrow between Carlton and North, really the end of the line for the loser in that game tomorrow. So some big football coming up, but no change to the top 5. We'll be back with more AFL today after this break.